Hello, my name is Vilandra Avril with the matrix number PM24110098, and today I will be presenting about gastroenterologist. So gastroenterologists are specialized in treating organs in the digestive system including the GI tract, which consists of esophagus, stomach, and intestines, and the biliary organs, which consist liver, bile ducts, pancreas, and gallbladder. So, before we get into our topic today, first we need to know what is the digestive system anatomy. So, as we can see, the first one we can see are pharynx, then continued by salivary glands that contains parotid, sublingual, submandibular. Then we have the oral cavity, then consists which is uvula and the tongue. And next we have the esophagus, liver, the gallbladder, and the common bile duct. We can also see the stomach, pancreas that secretes pancreatic duct, colon, which consists of transverse colon, ascending colon, and descending colon. So, small intestine consists of duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. And over here we can see there's cecum, appendix, and the last one is rectum and anus. So, before we get into the chemical process or the biochemical process, we need to know the functions of the organs in the digestive system. So, firstly is the mouth. So, the function of the mouth is to chew food and mix it with saliva. Then, salivary glands produce saliva, which contains a starch digesting enzyme that called salivary amylase. And pharynx helps to swallow the chew food mixed with saliva called bolus. Then the esophagus moves the bolus to the stomach, and the stomach mixes the churns of food with gastric juice that contain acid and a protein digesting enzyme called pepsin creating siam. Last, last is the liver that makes bile, which aids in the digestion and absorption of fat. Then we can see the pancreas, which releases bicarbonate to neutralize intestinal contents that produce enzyme that digest carbohydrates, protein, and fat. The gallbladder stores bile and releases it into the small intestine when needed. The small intestine digests food and absorbs nutrients into the blood or lymph. Large intestines absorb water and some vitamins and minerals, and it is a home to the intestinal bacteria that passes through waste material. Last but not least is the anus that opens to allow waste to leave the body. So next is the biochemical process. So in the mouth, the chewing starts, which mechanical breakdown of the protein begins. Then, in the stomach, the chemical digestion of protein begins from hydrochloric acid (HCl) and the enzyme pepsin. Then the food will went to the small intestine where polypeptides are broken down into amino acid, dipeptides, and tripeptides by protein digesting enzymes secreted from the pancreas. A variety of different transport proteins move to the product of protein digestion into the mucosal cell. Some amino acids share the same transport system. So dipeptides and tripeptides will enter the muscular cell and they will be broken down into single amino acid, while amino acid pass from the muscular cell into the blood and travel to the liver. The liver regulates the distribution of amino acids to the rest of the body. Lastly, the small amounts of dietary protein is lost in the feces. So there are two types of digestion, which are mechanical digestion that breaks large food particles into small ones, and chemical digestion, which involves the breaking of covalent chemical bonds in organic molecules by the digestive enzyme. So here we can see the food will distribute into three parts, which is carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. So carbohydrates will broken down into monosaccharides, lipids will be broken down to fatty acids and monoglycerides, and proteins will be broken down to amino acids. So as you can see here, the carbohydrates will be broken down by salivary amylase to become polysaccharide or disaccharide in the mouth. Then this polysaccharide and disaccharide will go through the stomach and pass through duodenum, which consists of pancreas and liver, that will be digested by the pancreatic amylase to disaccharides. So disaccharides will go through the small intestine to become monosaccharides. Next, we have lipid. Lipid will go through the mouth, stomach, duodenum, and will be digested by bile, salts from the liver, lipase from the pancreas, and will go through the small intestine to become fatty acid and monoglycerides. And protein will be go down to the mouth and the stomach, and the stomach that secretes enzyme which called pepsin will digest into polypeptides, and these polypeptides will be digested by trypsin, chymorpolysine, carbopeptidase in the pancreas to peptides. So the peptides will be digested to peptidase into amino acid. So the disease that I wanted to focus today is gastroesophageal reflux disease, also known as GERD. So this disease is where acid repeatedly flow back up into the tube that connects the mouth and the stomach, which are the esophagus, cause the irritation of esophagus. So as you can see in the picture, the location of the stomach, and you can see there is acid reflux begins to occur, and it causes inflammation in the esophagus. So there are some ways we can treat GRD is by these three treatments. Firstly is medications. So medication, for example, antacids, helps to neutralize stomach acids. So other than that, we can use prescription strength treatments such as this picture over here, where it strength the proton pump inhibitors. And lastly, we can undergo surgery. For example, transoral incisionless fundoplication (TIF) is a procedure where it can help to reduce the worsen of GERD. So the expert that I wanted to share with you guys today is Datin Dr. Wendy Lim Wandi. So she is a well-known gastroenterologist in Selangor, and she has obtained MRCP in 1996 from the Royal College Physicians in the UK and FRCP from Royal College of Physicians in Edinburgh. So she has the CCST, which is the certification of completion of specialist training in gastroenterology and internal medicine in 2025, issued by the United Kingdom. So I think that's all from me. Thank you for listening.